Interview on Italian television, Pope Francis also announced that he'll travel to Polynesia in August and that he hopes to visit his native Argentina at some point in the second half of this year. But such long journeys could be a challenge for the aging pontiff. Last November, he was forced to cancel a planned trip to Dubai for the COP28 climate change conference on doctor's orders. Giles Gibson, Rome.
New York City is setting up a lithium-ion battery swap program. The details from Jacqueline Carl.
The city previously passed a legislation that went into effect over the weekend. It requires an agency designated by the mayor to create a battery swap program so New Yorkers can...
KCAA Loma Linda. The Legacy KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Taylor. Much of the nation is in the grips of freezing temperatures. The severe winter weather is responsible for at least 6 deaths. Sub-zero temperatures will continue to be an issue today in the plains, while the east and south could possibly see dangerous storms bring snow, sleet, and freezing rain. Former President Donald Trump is the big winner in Iowa in yesterday's first-in-the-nation caucus. Steve Kornacki reports just how big the win was for Trump.
29-point margin for Trump here. The previous biggest margin was just 12 points. Bob Dole in 1988. We say 98 of 99 counties for Trump. You see the one exception here. This is Johnson County.
The Republican presidential candidates are now turning their attention to New Hampshire. Michael Kastner has more.
Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley was the first to arrive in the Granite State following Monday's Iowa caucus. There are 2 debates set to be held in New Hampshire, but Haley says she won't participate in either of them unless Donald Trump does as well.
Political experts are predicting what's next for Florida Governor Ron DeSantis after his second-place finish in Iowa. Karen Curtis has details.
Political scientist Dr. Sean Foreman predicts it's pretty much downhill for DeSantis in New Hampshire and South Carolina.
He's not expected to do well in New Hampshire because independents and Democrats can vote there, and they'll most likely go towards Haley. And Donald Trump will probably perform as well in South Carolina as he did in Iowa.
Dr. Foreman also doesn't see Trump picking DeSantis as his running mate.
It's just not going to happen. You have 2 alpha personalities. That would not work out day to day.
Foreman says that DeSantis is also courting the same evangelical voters who are solidly behind Trump. Karen Curtis, Miami.
Delays and cancellations are already piling up at the airports across the country. So far, over 1,700 flights within, into, or out of the U.S. have been canceled, and more than 3,700 have been delayed. Among the airports heavily impacted are Chicago O'Hare, Reagan National, Houston Bush, and LaGuardia. You're listening to the latest on NBC News Radio.
Zambrano Plumbing in Riverside would like to thank all the local men and women in our armed forces who risk their lives daily to preserve our freedom and way of life. God bless America. This reminder courtesy of Zambrano Plumbing in Riverside. They're the professionals serving the area with quality, integrity, and dependability. For service or an estimate, call Zambrano Plumbing at 909-772-9939.
Was your car involved in an accident or just need help with dents? All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers. In business for over 30 years. Their highly trained staff and certified technicians and friendly staff are the best in the business and treat each car as if it was their own. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers are family-owned and offer state-of-the-art equipment and tools to ensure optimum results. They use the latest technology in computerized color matching and specialize in frame repairs. With their modern laser measuring systems, they're OEM certified, and they have 4 locations to serve you. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers offer rental car assistance with free drop-off and pickup services too, and their work has a lifetime guarantee. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers are in Norco, Eastvale, Moreno Valley, and in Fontana. Call them at 1-800-61-MAGIC. That's 1-800-61-MAGIC. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers. 1-800-61-MAGIC. All Magic Paint and Auto Body says, drive carefully.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex, and then relationships not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else, right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening.
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the answer.
I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can
come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K words here on the show. No Kanye talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. Why not 100% of the time, you ask? Because if you are 100% happy, you are dead. It's not possible, not humanly possible, to be happy 100% of the time. But it is possible to be happier than you currently might be. A lot of us say, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when, I'll be happy when, and when just never arrives. So this is a show encouraging you to choose happiness. And I've been doing this now for 591 consecutive weeks, but who's counting? This is show number 1008, and you know 8 is a lucky number for me. I know you thought I was Swedish, but I'm actually Chinese, and 8 is a homophone for good fortune. So it is, I'm on a happy 88 mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. And so, of course, this is one of my biggest platforms to help do that. Thank you for making me the number one talk. I am very grateful to be able to do this for 11, I guess we're at 11 and a half years now officially. So we start this last year with taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich to start the show. I'm going to volunteer or victimize my sound engineer, Frank. He's my new engineer. He's totally, fully not new anymore because he's doing everything fabulously. So want to thank him for supporting me doing this particular show. And thank goodness y'all were wrong who said a show that did not, have the political ranting or, gossiping about who's marrying, cheating, divorcing, marrying who. None of that on this show. So I'm glad you were wrong. And we will continue to look at the best possible case scenario with this exercise calling it Breakfast with Dr. Marissa when I have a guest that is also the case. And Frank's going to play along on the chat. I think if you could do it on the public chat, I don't know if we figured out if you can do that or not. And then what we're going to do is 8 specific things that we are grateful for. And thank you for eyeballs rolling in. I see the peanut gallery coming in, or my cashew gallery, and I'm happy to have you. Please do also type in your gratitudes, because I can put them up on the screen and you can participate and have breakfast with me. So let's see. Frank is grateful for his sisters, and I'm guessing there's more than one. And I like to be specific on the show so I can give them a peace in, peace out acknowledgement. Unless they're embarrassed by it, you can give me their names. I am grateful that I'm babysitting my grand dog son these last couple of days while Dad and my daughter Mom are up moving around in San Francisco. So it's been wonderful having him. So that's 2. Shout out to Jenny and Heidi. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace to both of you. Thank you for raising a very polite brother, Frank. And I'm grateful that I got to see dolphins on the beach this morning. I'm grateful that I have a practice or a discipline where I make wishes on dolphins when I see them surface. So I did that for y'all this morning. So you should be having more love, joy, and peace today. That was my intentions for all of my listeners today. Frank is grateful for sunshine. I am grateful that I was texting by Siri while I was doing my back exercises on my back, and the phone fell out of the case and knocked me right there. So I'm grateful that it knocked me in the middle. So I have I don't need to get my lips plumped up. I have a natural, I don't know if you can see it, fat lip this morning, thanks to my phone. Serves me right for trying to do too many things. And then let's see, Frank is also grateful. Oh, he's saying ouch. Yeah, it was one of those, you see stars when you're not expecting something to hit you in the face. Last gratitude for me is the technology that allows me to stream live. If you are driving, please do not go to my link tree. The bio is there in the morning for today's show, as with every day. Okay, let's see. That's 8 specific things that I and Frank are grateful for in the morning. And if you do this every single morning, I guarantee you will have a better day, a better start a day. Dr. Wayne Dyer says 5 things that you're grateful for every morning. I'm a little bit of an overachiever, so I mentioned why I like 8. That's why we do it. All right, and then the bottom of the bun for our gratitude sandwich is actual things that you like about yourself, and I call those appreciations. Appreciations are a little bit different than gratitude that I define as outside of you, and I like to put appreciation from inside of you. So what do you like about yourself? And we are doing an episode today. I know it's not Monday. Usually I do Monday mental health matters, but yesterday we had Monday movie reviews. And if you missed that really fabulous show with a 12-year-old Hanadi, and she gave a film review of The Slumber Party on Disney Channel. So it was just so delightful to have her, very articulate 12-year-old. She's been acting, and she's involved with this great organization called Kids First. And I had the founder, Miss Rani, and she also explained how your kids, if you want your kids to become involved in acting, this is a great way to start. They do coaching. You have to audition to get in to see if this is something you really want to do. But go to kidsfirst.org, and that is the website there. But if you missed that episode, just go to my YouTube channel, free subscribe, and you will get a warning, an alert every morning right before I go live after the NBC News, now at 9 a.m. I did switch times from 8. So hopefully you have found me again. I keep waiting for Mark, my station manager, to tell me how to record my change time slot. And so remind me, Frank, to get that from him today. All right. Frank is starting it off. What things does he like about himself? And just to finish that thought off, the reason why we do this is we have a tendency to look to other people for approval. And we got trained that way at home. You always want to please your mom and dad, your teachers, your friends, your relatives, because you get kudos and, oh, such a good boy, and oh, such a good girl. And we've trained ourselves away from good mental health, because I believe my BS belief system is the foundation of good mental health, is the ability to approve of yourself. So that's why we do the bottom of the bun. It's also a great way to go to bed with your appreciations. If you are thinking about who done you wrong, what you didn't get done, how so many things you have to do tomorrow, you're not going to have a good night's sleep. And to make matters worse, if you do MS, which is meaningless scrolling before you go to bed, then you're also probably not going to sleep, because bad news travels faster than good news. So we want to train you to fall asleep thinking about what you like about yourself. So let's see. Frank says he is ambitious. Great appreciation. I will say that I am tireless. And Frank says I'm easy to get along with. I can attest to that. I will say that I like that dogs and babies like me. That's 2. And I use that as I got to be a good person if that's true. Even though I inherited that from my dad. My dad would walk in a room, and my dad, not my bonus dad, the Chinese dad that's in heaven now because he passed from lymphoma, but he would walk in a room, and if there was a dog, the dog would run to him. And if there was a baby, the baby would walk and giggle. So thank goodness I have a little bit of that as his legacy left over. I appreciate that I'm told I will accept this. It's still not easy for me to accept compliments. I know some of you are not going to believe that. But again, I think it's because I'm a woman, and a colorful woman on top of that. So women of color, Chinese and Japanese in particular, the nail that stands up is hammered down. So we are taught not to stand out, not to be, thank you for that compliment, not to toot your own horn. And that's why this Blisscipline exercise is particularly good for me. So I will own that I am charming. I don't think I've owned that yet. And Frank, one more from you. And I will say I am fun-loving. I do love to play games. I am competitive. I enjoy that feeling of winning, especially. It's not whether you win or lose. It's whether I win or lose. And I do enjoy that aspect of me. And I guess you probably got a call. But I will say that Frank is appreciative. He's really easy to see the things that are good about a situation. And that is the last bottom of the bun appreciation. So I promise, if you do this exercise of taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich for 28 consecutive days, you will have the best day ever. especially more than you're doing now. And it's free. It just takes some determination to get up and go right to gratitude instead of grabbing this thing or grabbing this thing before you go to bed. I actually try to plug it in the other room, and that will help me not end the day with meaningless scrolling or MS. All right. I think that is it for having breakfast with Dr. Marissa and Frank this morning. Frank, a little plug. I just heard from him that he is starting a show, or he has a show on NBC News Radio KCAA AM 1050 FM 106.5, the station that leaves no listener behind. So you can give me the name of the show, the time and date in the chat, and I will announce that so people can go and check him out and give him some support. It's called Highlight One Radio, and it's Tuesdays at 7 p.m. I think I'm at Tuesdays at 6, so you might be following me on that bonus show that I think I'm on that slot. But anyways, go check out Frank, Highlight One Radio. I'm guessing you're highlighting something, and I'm sure, I think it's a what do you call it, a tradition that when people start new shows, they ask me to come on and promote. So I don't know if you knew that. I don't know if the other hosts, some of the hosts, the older hosts know that, but that is Frank's show. So go check him out on Tuesdays at 7. All right. So what are we talking about today? It is National Lemon Juice Day. Thanks to National Today organization, it posts what the holidays are for the days. I use them a lot to keep current and to celebrate things that I see on the calendar that I like. And I think that National Lemon Juice Day is perfect for the expression or the idiom that you make lemonade. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And I grew up and embraced that. Not only did I embrace that saying, I also made it my own, which is I like to do. This is a Marissa-ism that's on page 88 of my Dr. Marissa Asian Oprah Webster Dictionary. And my version is, if life gives you brown, black, squishy, spotted, ugly bananas, make yummy banana bread. That's my version, because I got to make everything mine. So that's the other way to look at making the best of, or as I say, every morning, I put on my life jacket with a silver lining. A life jacket with a silver lining. So hopefully you will join me in this practice. And I will start with the reason why I do this. A lot of people say, why are you so positive? And it was a nice getting that compliment from my guests yesterday. Randy emailed me and said, you know, your what is it? Your positivity is contagious, or something to that effect. And I'm glad, because I actually don't do it for you. I am positive, bottom line, for me. Because when I am positive, I get myself to a better feeling place, especially if I start out hangry, lonely, no wait, I gotta do it the chipmunk way. Lonely, I am so lonely. not pretty. And that is such a horrible sound to me. And feeling glum, feeling pissed off, feeling irritated, frustrated, all of that is so. My granddog son wanted to get on my lap. He'll come back. Isn't he adorable? Anyways, all of those feelings don't make me feel good. And I do enjoy feeling good. And I think that no thanks to the pandemic, people are have a bad habit right now. If they were complaining before, if they were worrying before, if they were hopeless before, the moments of hopelessness have turned into minutes and hours, and now it's a bad habit. So as soon as you wake up, you're already anxious, worried, fearful, have an extreme case of pissed offedness. That's actually not from my dictionary, but from Michael Bernard Beckwith, my big brother's dictionary. The state of pissed offedness, and that's not a great place to be. And mentioning his name, I am really proud of him. Those of you who watched the march in Washington celebrating 60 years from the Martin Luther King actual march there at Lincoln Memorial, C-SPAN did a coverage of it, and he was on the podium. I was so proud of him, and he sent me a text with the shot, and that is such an amazing way to celebrate Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King's son, is it grandson, son or grandson? Is the son. The son, Martin Luther King the third, I think it is, who I got to meet, and his wife and his daughter, the granddaughter, who's really fabulous. I got to meet them actually and get a photo with them, and I need to reach back out to them to get them on the show. So that was an amazing thing. So I just wanted to bring that up and give him some kudos and props. All right, so I am going to, are we almost at the halfway? So halfway, I like to go to the positive, but let me continue and just put the moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of the elephant of the room. What kind of lemon juice have we been having? What kind of brown bananas have we been eating or looking at or letting rot? I will give you the permission to feel really not great about bad things that happen to good people, because there does seem to be more bad things that are happening to good people, also known as the pandemic. That nobody saw that coming. There was not real warnings, kind of like a forecast instead of a nowcast. We all suffered briefly. I think that my what's on my book, life, pain in life is mandatory, but suffering is optional, is one of those truths about life. If you expect to live life without anything bad happening, I think you are setting yourself up for disappointment, because I don't know one human who has not had some kind of hardship or pain or something that they've gone through in their lifetime, because it is a way to grow and expand in life. I call it chiseling. And I'm going to tell you a story that I've been meaning to tell probably for the last 3 times we've been talking about any kind of Happy 88 tool. So here's the story. There's 2 rocks. And I told this story actually in China when I was on their big TV show out there right before the pandemic. I was 10 miles from Wuhan, November 2019. I don't know, Frank, I told you about that. So I was on tour with Jessica Cox, beautiful speaking partner of mine. We are #Limitless Women, because she was born without arms and had a very supportive emotional upbringing. I was born with arms and born into a family that did not give me a lot of emotional support. So together we are examples of limitless. And we were in China touring and speaking, and was on Chengdu radio TV. And then before we left, she actually left before me because she had another speaking gig back in the States. And her mom and I went to see the Terracotta Warriors, which is 10 miles from Chengdu. 10 miles from Wuhan, where all of this started. And found out after the day we left on November, it was late November 2019, we were on the last airplane before they began taking temperatures before you could get on the plane. So talk about close. Very close, not being stuck in China through the pandemic. Nothing against China, those are my roots, but I have a home here in California, and certainly my kids are here. So I made it out. But I say this to if you haven't acknowledged the losses and the discomfort and the pain of what you went through during the pandemic, I think it's really important to not do what they call a spiritual bypass. So y'all know how positive I am. Y'all know I don't like to stay in that place called complaining, suffering, worrying, anxiety, fear. Y'all know that. But I also believe that it's important not to say, I'm okay, I'm fine. I don't, pandemic, no problem. Everybody lost. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to think about it. And that is in my BS, my belief system, that's a mistake. It is very important to be human. Now, I'm not human for too long because I know that it's very easy to get stuck in that place of feeling bad. But I also believe that it is not helpful to not feel at all, to not acknowledge a feeling that you have that something bad has happened, because when we don't feel fully, we tend to get trapped. We trap that negative energy inside our bodies, our minds, our souls. And negative energy, they say, takes up more volume than positive energy. So for me, it's so important to actually feel the loss. So if you haven't done that, today we're just going to do that set point right now. You're going to do it with me. This is a little bright. I'm going to just do this because my eyes are starting to water from the beautiful sunshine that I get to live in. But I just want you to, why don't you stand right now with me? And that way we're grounded to Mother Nature, Earth. And I want you to put your palms up. Frank, you may have to adjust my sound. I'm just gonna, because this doesn't raise. Let me know if the sound's okay, because now the air conditioning's on the back. But palms up. So we are going to put our feet about shoulder length apart, and you're going to gently close your eyes. And the only way to do this is to do this, except if you're driving. If you're driving, do not do this. But if you're not driving, I want you to just humor me and breathe in. And if you have been complaining or worried or in fear since the pandemic, then today marks the last day you are going to be in that habit of being stuck in that place of negative reaction, waiting for the other shoe to drop, holding your breath, constantly complaining about everything you lost during the pandemic. today is the last day as well. We're going to anchor and fully feel all those things that were negative about going through this thing called the pandemic, okay? And it's going to be the last time. So you ready? All right. Palms up, feet on the ground, taking eyes gently closed, taking a deep breath in through the nose and releasing soft shoulders, soft elbows, soft knees. We're activating the body with our breath. Chi, eternal energy, that's Mandarin for the breath. Now take a second breath in and releasing all the stories and the drama. And one last breath in. That was activating the mind. And we're going to activate the spirit and soul right now, breathing in, connecting with me through Chi, eternal energy, the breath of life, no beginning, no end, and release. I'm connecting with you through Chi. When you're ready, gently come back to the room by opening your eyes. All right, and now we're going to go through and feel the sadness. So you may have been pissed about what you lost in the pandemic. You may have been anxious or worried, but sadness is one of those things that we don't like to feel. And it is really the roots that the habit is anchored in, is not feeling that sadness. So I want you to put your hand on your heart, and we're just going to think and list. I'm going to list out loud all the things that I lost as an example. And you can say this out loud now. If you're in the office, you probably don't want to do this in front of everybody, but you can do this privately later, or go to the bathroom, or just type it out. But I want you to release and get in touch with all those things that you lost during the pandemic. And this is the last time, okay? If you've already done this a lot, we're still going to do it one more time, but you're going to promise yourself that you're not going to, this is the process, the Happy 88 tool to get out of that, so that we can make banana bread out of the spotty, brown, mushy bananas and make lemonade out of lemons on this National Day of Lemon Juice. Okay, you ready? I lost a lot of money energy through a lot of motivational speaking gigs that got canceled, probably to the tune of 6 figures. So that was a huge loss. I lost consulting gigs, again, money energy. I lost coaching clients who didn't want to come over until we figured out Zoom, and some didn't like to do Zoom, so that was a loss. All money energy. I lost a connection with people that I would see on a regular basis. I lost hugs. Oh, until we figured out CCD, Creative COVID Dining, where we would go get takeout and sit 6 feet apart in our separate cars. I did that with my bonus mom and dad, and still were able to enjoy each other's company after a while. I lost my ability to turn off not the TV, but I used to be able to just watch one show. And now I have this new addiction called, what is it? Binging, series binging, or show binging, or whatever the heck that's called. That's a funny, not so funny one. I grieved. Oh, a big one. I lost people during COVID. I lost a beautiful friend. She was my guest on the show 5 or 6 times. Dawn Wells is her name. You'll know her as Marianne from Gilligan's Island. And man, that was a tough one. She died from COVID complications early in COVID. I think it was December 19. or yes, close to that, or 2020. And then I lost Bernie Dorman, who was my boss at one of the first and very big entrepreneurial universities that he invited me to be on faculty for. He died during COVID, and I'm forgetting my third friend. I had a lot of friends who lost people in COVID. So the loss of life is what I also felt. And I'm just sending a lot of love to Dawn's friends. I know Amy still feels that loss poignantly. So the loss of life, the loss of money, energy, the loss of freedom to travel, the loss of freedom to just do what I want to do. I'll tell you, that really made me appreciate now that I have that ability to travel again and do what I want to do. And I lost for a little while, the discipline of knowing that everything happens for my divine and best good, because it was like, how could this happen? Like, what is this, Mother Nature getting a revenge, or the fundamental dogmatic Christians were saying that this is like Sodom and Gomorrah and punishment, and that was not great to hear, and all of those things that my innocence or my positive Pollyanna place, I lost a little bit of that. So those are all the things that I lost. I don't know if you can identify with any of those, but let's just take a breath now and just sit with that sadness, because no matter what, it happened. And I think that when we do that spiritual bypass or that override of not feeling the sadness, we don't do ourselves a favor, because what you do not deal with will come back and deal with you. So this is our final anchor time to get in there, dig out the shiitake, and we find, as we're digging it out, that little seed of who we really are, that is beyond the sadness, beyond the piss-offness, beyond the anger, beyond the resentment of the loss. Okay, so take that breath in, eyes closed again, and releasing all of the losses. And I want you to just see them float down through your body, shoulders, past the chest, past the belly, past your pelvic area, past your top of your legs, the knees, the calves, into your feet and out of your feet. So they are now out of your body. Taking that deep breath in, holding your heart, and now knowing that there was some reason all of that happened. And I may not know the reason now. We're going to try to do a little exercise to try to identify that. But for right now, I want you to repeat after me. Open your eyes slowly, come back to the room, and say, I can't wait to see what good comes out of the pandemic. I can't wait to see what good comes out of the pandemic. Now, I said this very early on in the pandemic. Some of us have done that. If you haven't done that, it's never too late. So I want you to say that now, because now that we've released all of that negative loss, pain, sadness, anger, worry, doubt, fear, we can now turn, pivot, and look at any possible hashtag COVID silver linings. Now, some of you are not convinced. You don't want to go there. You don't want to start looking at the bright side. You are habitualized into being pissed off, being angry, being resentful, holding that on. let me give you a little story to encourage you about moving to the other side. So there's these two rocks in a store, and one's on the left side and one's on the right side. And you walk in, and everybody goes to the right side. Everyone sees this amazing, beautiful rock. The sculpture is magnificent. The lights streaming in, hitting this sculpture, this rock that is a sculpture now. And everyone that comes in to the store is like beyond, oh my God, how beautiful. Look at it. Look at the way the light reflects. Look at the colors in the prism, and it's so beautiful. And this goes on for years. The rock on the left side of the store is not happy because it hears all of the accolades and all of the compliments over and over and over every single day. And after 8 years, that rock is so pissed off that it finally says something, jumps off its little perch, shakes its hand at life and says, "Life, you are not fair. All this bad stuff happening, and in particular, I get nothing. I've had nothing good happen. I get no compliments. No one comes to tell me I'm beautiful. All the attention goes to the rock on the right side. Life, you are not fair." And life looks down lovingly at that rock and says, "Darling, every time I try to come and do a little chiseling, you say, 'Ow, oh, stop. No, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Don't touch me. I got nothing. I can't do any work with you because you don't want any pain.'" Moral of this story: if you want to become the beautiful sculpture, and everybody is a beautiful sculpture, then we have to go through the necessary chiseling that gets us there. And that is my BS, my belief system of why there is pain in life, why bad things happen to good people and bad people. Don't sweat the small stuff and the big stuff, because the role of pain in life is to chisel us into greater and greater, one-of-a-kind, wonderful, beautiful, not a throwback in the lot. That's why we have pain. That's why we have things called the pandemic. That's why I'm one of the 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma. That's the majority, 7 out of 10. If it's 7 out of 10, my honorable moniker, Oprah, actually says it's 8 out of 10 of us. She had childhood trauma. Psychologists say that it's up to 94% of us who've had some kind of childhood trauma. I don't know any adult who's not had trauma somewhere along the line. So that really begs the question, what is the role of pain in life? And I believe it is absolutely to chisel us into our best version of who we are. And people will say, yeah, but don't you think you could have been who you are without the childhood trauma, without the expensive divorce, without the loss of the pandemic, without anything that's happened to me that has been painful? And I will absolutely say to you, don't know, but I do know that what did happen, I do not regret. Not one single painful point of my life. It was not great. It was not fun having glue on my car. It was not fun having my husband put up a sign in Seal Beach that said, "Asian woman disillusioned with marriage, looking for Asian or Caucasian woman," and having a rumor with all the Seal Beach moms that I had a website with naked women on it. That was not fun. Do I regret that happened? Absolutely not. because when bad things happen to me, I know that it is just part of the chiseling to help me understand other people's pain better. I know what it's like to go through a difficult divorce, and I'm able to help people and coach them when they are going through that. Every kind of pain we have ever had gives us the ability to have more compassion, have more sensitivity, and sensitivity leads to more creativity. So everything that happens, I believe, I choose to believe, happens for our divine and best good. And that allows me then to turn any kind of pain, even the pandemic, even abuse, even whatever that fill in the blank is, tragedy, I am able to think about the sculpture, think about the rock that didn't want pain, and choose to see what came out of that pain. Because past the pain, there is power. But if you don't want the pain and you protect yourself from pain and you don't want to get hurt again, you don't want your heart broken, so you don't get in a relationship. I know I'm talking to myself. If we purposefully try to guard and hold ourselves back from pain, we will not get that power. We will not. It's not a lesson. No one's getting punished. I don't believe that BS, that belief system that when bad things happen, we're getting punished or it's karma. I think that's bullshit-talky. It's a way of excusing our own personal power. So when bad things happen, I do this discipline. I feel the pain fully. I process that pain. I get out the other side. I pop out and say, what's the power here? What's my superpower as a result of this pain? And that's how I get through the pain. So hopefully, whether you're listening to this now or later, you are going to do this exercise with me. This is a link in my YouTube channel forever. So you can do this process. Please share it. It's free. Subscribe, share it with your friends, go through the process to anchor and mark the point where you're not going to marinate anymore in the sour lemon juice, in the mushy, ugly banana. And you're going to move through to make that lemonade and to make the banana bread. Okay? Do I have a yes? I will. Because I want that for you. I promise that if you do this exercise, you will feel better, which is my Happy 88 mission, 88 million happier people in the next 8 years. So hopefully that Happy 88 tool that's actually in my book, which is, hold on. The nice thing about having a virtual studio now is being able to get things. I did a book signing, so I took it out and put it in my purse. But this is what I am giving you today is a free audiobook copy of 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are. And the black banana exercise is actually in the book, making delicious banana bread. And I told you that I would give you the actual recipe too. This ancient Chinese secret. See if I can find it. Banana bread. And here's the deal with banana bread. Your own banana bread, as far as what you are going to do, is to forward. I'm talking about this now. Is to bake your own banana bread. So this is also another Happy 88 tool, is for us to not expect other people to give us the solution. that a lot of attention has been given to mental health right now. Unfortunately, it has led more and more people to go looking outside of themselves for solution, as in prescription drugs or legal drugs, 420, or illegal drugs, the white stuff, or whatever it is, to try to feel better. And I think it misses one of the greatest tools we have in life, which is our own power of choice. So I am not saying that you shouldn't go to a therapist or a psychiatrist to get meds, but before you do, I challenge everyone to see how strong you are with specifically with your ability to choose and focus. Because I think a lot of us have gotten a little lazy. We're not really good focusers. We have a tendency to be led by the nose or the eyes to wherever the news wants to take us. And as a result, we are distracted by media, the weapon of mass distraction, instead of choosing what I want to focus on. So I'm asking you from this day forward to stop marinating in what you lost in the pandemic and choose to look at hashtag COVID silver lining. So for me, my COVID silver lining is I realize that I have a gift that I'm learning and growing and honing called filmmaking. And because of the pandemic, and I lost all those gigs and I'm not traveling, and I had time to actually put together a short film. And if you haven't watched it, it's called PPP Post Pandemic Possibilities. It's on my YouTube channel, and it's free. Again, free subscribe on my YouTube channel. And I would love you to give me a review. It's a 9.28 minute movie. And one of my past guests, wonderful Seth Greenleaf, who is also a filmmaker, so this is huge compliment. He said that this video was a vitamin B12 shot to
Astapro.
open
No
happiness.
allergy spray is faster. Steroid-free allergy relief that starts.
It's on there, so you can take a look at it. I would love for you to comment on it. It has lots of their jobs and lived for their weekends. Can we consider a new normal? Take a breath with me. And consider a new PPP, post-pandemic possibilities. What if conforming to the world was exploring the world? What if the question, what do you want to be when you grow up, little girl, turns into, how many streets of life do you want to explore? What if there was another way to go? Unfortunately, I am out of time, so we are not going to be able to watch the whole thing, but please do go there. And if you do, go to drmarissa.life and put in PPP, and you'll get a free audiobook copy of 8 Ways to Happiness. Actually, everybody who wants one today, I'm going to give a free copy of that to help you up-level your happiness. Thank you so much for joining me today on National Lemon Juice Day. It is a day that we are highlighting mental health matters through making yummy banana bread out of bruised bananas, which is my version of making lemonade out of lemon. I do have the recipe. We don't have time to go through it. If you would like that really good recipe for yummy banana bread, go to drmarissa.life and ask for it, and I'm happy to send that to you. And that is it for today's version of Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind. Tomorrow, my co-host for The Doctors in the House, we have Dr. Tiffany Tate. So tune in then. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.
KCAA Loma Linda.